Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of Afternoon Drive Home on IC in Christ Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, that's in North Alabama. You can also find us on Abundance TV, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire. And guess what, Loretta? We're in also Australia. So we're real proud to, woo-hoo, yeah, we're proud to be there as well. So it's pretty awesome. Now, this lady right here is like one of my best friends, and Loretta is with Cove Crafters, and she and I like to craft stuff. I mean, if it can be made, we're into it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, something
probably a little more than we should be, but hey.
Something satisfying about working with your hands.
Very much so.
And there's a big project coming up, so I know you want to talk about that.
There is.
And these are the folks, by the way, with Cove Crafters. Let's talk about these ladies and men. By the way, we have men who come as well.
Yes, we have 4 right now, if you count Michael. So we do have 4 gentlemen that come and help us with the crafts. Most of them right now are very much hands-on, so they actually do the project. They don't just sit there and go, they are workers, and they are carriers, and they are a blessing. So if I need something, or table needs to be set up, or something needs to be moved, because I'm not really supposed to be, lifting too much, they do it. It's awesome. I am so appreciative. And even Phil, I get such a smile every time I see him. It's like, I'm so glad he's coming with you as well. So way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's beginning to learn how to craft. I think he likes it more than he says he does.
I know. So this Thursday is the last meeting for Cove Crafters for 2022. Can you believe it? And we're going to be meeting at Shepherd's Cove Hospice at 5:30 p.m. We're going to eat, and we're fed by Santa Fe Cattle Company. It's free. Everything's free. You just need to show up with a willing heart to work. And Don's got a graphic up, but this is one of the birdhouses that we're going to be making. Very simple design, easy to do. They actually have a little light. Some of them are stiffer. Yep. So.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's such a nice project. I like it because if you wanted to, you could put a hanger on it. But you can also just put them beside your table, and it'll be a nice little little night light, or just a sweet little reminder that somebody's thinking about you and caring for you, which as Cove Crafters, we certainly do. We do not meet in December. We do take the month off, but there is a project that is made in December that will go out in January, and I'd like to show it to you guys. Let's untie it. So it looks like just a simple journal. And then, oops, it's kind of came unstowed. So it's got a calendar and a notepad inside, and then on the back, it's got a pen. So it's a very practical gift. You can write notes, grocery lists, whatever you need. And whether you're the patient or the caregiver, I do feel like this is something that everyone, regardless of gender or abilities, can use to, write down something if they need to remember it. And like I said, these are really great for small grocery lists or just notes that you need to take care of,
I love
there
this
you go.
one.
Your little one?
And I like it. I like this. It fits right into my purse. And so what I've done, I'm using this one as my journal for gardening.
Oh,
and
good.
So I've got, everything like when I planted whatever, and, like the green onions and all that kind of stuff. So I got all that in there. And then I've also got like my beekeeping stuff. So I'm a beekeeper. Yay! And I love it. I have a good time. So one of my friends in beekeeping said, you know what, you need to use the dryer Swiffer sheets. Helps get rid of some bugs that can get in there.
It also those Swiffer sheets will also get rid of when you're stamping or you're doing crafty projects, stamping in particular, and you've used an embossing ink so that when you heat it, it makes it kind of shiny. Well, sometimes that leaves a halo effect around the image. If you just take that Swiffer sheet and real gently buff it, the halo's gone.
Oh,
I use them
wow.
all the time. They are stitched, that and dryer sheets. I don't think I could live without dryer
Yeah.
sheets.
Those
I
are
really
cool.
don't.
But I love these. So
Yeah.
go to these classes and you can learn how to make things for yourself too. And you're
Yep.
learning a skill and working with your hands.
Speaking of classes, I have news. I am doing a class this Saturday, which is the 12th of November at North Broad Church of Christ. On North Broad Street here in Albertville. It starts at 10:30. We should run until about 12:30. Our goal is to make 50 cards. All of these cards will stay there because they're going to go to our card ministry. But I have also designed a card that anybody who'd like to come will make and then take with them. It is called a twist panel pop-up card, and it sounds of course I do not have one here. They sound more complicated than they are.
It sounds
but they're very
complicated.
easy.
Yeah, well,
It's
for
not.
you, but you teach
It's
all
not.
these little different techniques and stuff.
Well, this card is just a lot of gluing. I've cut all the pieces in advance just to save some time and to save some frustration, because if I have somebody come into this class this Saturday and they really haven't done a whole lot of crafting, they're not familiar with stamping or that kind of thing, then they can still do this project and feel accomplished. And trust me, everybody loves it. They're like, how did you do that? It's like, I don't know, come to the class, find out.
That's right. You got to go to the class. Now, if you had to pay for this, especially when you come to Code Crafters, my goodness. So, you get all kinds of really great techniques that, Loretta has used through the years,
Many years. But yeah,
many years.
and
Experience.
the thing is, you learn as you go along. So, even if something doesn't, like work out, and trust me, there's a trash can right there, then it's okay because you've learned something. It's just paper. It's just, one small little project. Don't sweat over it.
That's true. Absolutely. I wanted to do kind of a shout out because there are people who will actually come to your house and help you get prepared. So we need to do a shout out to all those people who do that.
We
takes up a lot of time.
We do. We had 6 folks, 7 if you included me, that came this last Saturday. My beloved, wonderful husband, who is patient, made some pulled pork. So he had some pulled pork for us, and everybody brought a side dish. And so we ate, and then we went and we painted these birdhouses. And by the time they got to them, they had already been sanded twice and primed, and the holes drilled in them, because these come from the Dollar Tree, so there's no hole in the bottom. So Mike did all the holes, and we sat out there for, I don't know, a couple of hours. I'm thinking at least 6 or 8 hours of just sanding and getting the little opening ready for the tea light. So I am so excited about this one. This is the first time we've ever done like we've done 3D projects, but one that is, let's see, it's sophisticated. It really is. And I just think it's a great gift. I know I would want to get one.
Yeah, they're really nice. And then, you'll learn the skills, and maybe you can make some for Christmas presents for your family.
You absolutely can. And I will take you through that process. As you know, Donna, and we haven't quite got to that point yet, I do a video so that, and I start playing it usually while our folks are working, so that, eating, so that everybody knows what's involved with our project. And it loops. So once we finish eating and we start that project, then that frees me up to be able to come to each individual person and help anybody who needs the help, just get supplies if you run out of something, that kind of thing. And I have found it immensely helpful, and it's a time saver. So Mike and I are hoping that the weather will be a little bit better sunshine wise to be able to do that probably in the next couple of days. But Thursday is coming fast.
It sure is. As a matter of fact, it's raining right now. You can probably hear it. It's raining right now at my house.
It's overcast here. I'm sure it's going to rain.
We're sending it up in your neck of the woods.
It's
Let's talk a little bit about your experience in crafting, because you got some great experience. You're really somebody to hang around with. You know?
Well, thank you. Well, what a lot of people don't know is that my art has actually been published 57 times since 2006.
Wow.
In nationally accredited, I can't speak today, magazines. My favorite is from 2007. The magazine was Just Cards, which is now unfortunately out of business. But they published my Never Ending Card, which is a flip card. You just open it and keep opening it and open it. So it's called the Never Ending Card. But the tagline on the cover was the coolest card ever, the Never Ending Flip Card. And so that was in April of 2007. And it's unfortunately, I have 2 of them left. Everybody got one, and I signed it like I was some big deal. But I have.
Well, it is a big deal.
It's so much fun to see your own work in print. And that one is very special to me because when a friend of mine showed me the concept, her instructions made no sense to me. So I made one, and then I sat down with Mike. I said, and he's like, oh, wow, this is really cool. And so he and I sat down. It was about 2.5 hours. And if you read the magazine, you can really see that he is the one who put the finesse on those instructions. So I tell you, I couldn't do it without him, but I love it. As far as experience goes, I've been teaching probably the last 12 years or so. I didn't teach much before that. I just like to hang out with the girls and have a good time. So I teach a lot more now, especially with Cove Crafters. And that probably takes 40 to 80 hours a month to make sure that comes off without a glitch. Some of my favorite techniques are really old techniques, like a crayon resist, which sounds really weird, but you take a piece of like photo paper, and you can use a crayon and scribble or whatever you want to do, and then stamp or whatever on top of that and ink it and whatever you want to do. And that crayon is going to resist that color. And it's really a cool technique. Wow. So been doing it for many, many years. So, but yeah, I have definitely got a little experience under my belt.
She's got a lot of it. Don't let her fool you. She really does have a lot of great experience. You're being trained by the best. Just wanted to mention that. Now, this is Loretta Rodger, and she's with us right now. And she's Shepherd's Cove as well. So let's talk about why we do this. What's Shepherd's Cove about?
Shepherd's Cove is a hospice, and we serve 9 counties in Alabama right now. We have about 120 patients on our books. So that's not just 120 patients, that's the patients and their family. Shepherd's Cove prides itself on that end of life journey. So whether you need palliative care, which is just where you're still getting some treatments, but you need some pain management, or you're in that journey towards the end of life, we are going to take care of you. The foundation takes care of a lot of those expenses. So even if you don't have insurance, we got your back. Because medications and hospital beds and all that good stuff are expensive. We all know that they're expensive. But the last thing a family who is trying to take care of someone needs is to worry about the money. And that's where Shepherd's Cove comes in, and they take care of things. They have counseling services. So if your loved one has passed, even if you're a child, they have services, they have like programs and things for children to help them through that grieving process. So it is, to me, a major blessing. I couldn't think of anyone better to take care of a patient. I know from my personal experience with hospice, when Mike and I had first got married and we were living in Maryland, I could not have traded it for the world. I learned so much. And so when I found out about it here and the opportunity to serve by using my creative talents, I was very excited, and still am, to be able to do that.
And there are different ways too. You can volunteer at Shepherd's Cove. You know, if you like just not being on the phone, that's an important part of Shepherd's Cove. If you like being on the phone, if you like to do paperwork, if you want to sit with patients, or if you want to work inside the thrift store, that's another good reason.
Well, you know, let's talk about that for just 1 second, because if you volunteer with Shepherd's Cove Hospice and you spend at least 4 hours a month, which I think is nothing, you get 25% off your purchase at the thrift store.
Wow.
Doesn't matter what it is, you get 25% off. And you just need to make sure you have your badge with you. And of course, I don't have mine on right now, but it's extremely important. We need everything from people who are willing to trim trees and mow the grass to people who we have a patient maybe who needs a little help with house cleaning. You don't have time to have an immaculate house when you've got someone who's about to pass away. You just don't. And but because we have the volunteers, our volunteer hours are supposed to be let's back up a little bit. Medicare mandates that we have 5% of our care for patients done by volunteers. Right now, the last time that someone kind of filled me in, we had 8.5%. So we are above average, of course, and I have never in my life met people with as much passion and love as those folks who are with Shepherd's Cove Hospice, whether it's a volunteer or a staff member.
You know, sometimes you can volunteer because, I mean, I know what it's like. You're a caregiver and you're afraid to leave the bedside of a loved one for 2 minutes. You don't know what to do, you know. And sometimes people just come in and sit while you run out, and because life still goes on, you still have to shop for groceries. You still have to do different things, you know, run errands and that kind of thing. So there are folks who volunteer to help with the family.
It is such a blessing. I do sit with patients. Actually, I've sat 3 times in the last week. But, you know, the trust that caregiver or family has, it's something that I don't take for granted. I think you have an opportunity, and as a Christian, I approach it from that standpoint. Not only how do I want to be treated, but, you know, I say a prayer before I walk into that home that the Lord will bless that house and that person and that family, because the wife or the caregiver, you know, it's their birthday, it's the anniversary, whatever it is, just wants to get out of the house for a little bit. That's why volunteers are so important.
Absolutely. So many different ways you can help. I wanted to show everybody something. I've been looking high and low for a table to put some of my equipment, the sound equipment and all that kind of stuff on. I found this table and it is beautiful. You just got to see it. And it's gorgeous. Like a little card table. You can use it like for your supper or something if you want to eat and watch television. I really love this table because it also folds. So if I don't want it right here in the studio, I can just unfold it and just put it over to the side somewhere. But this is the perfect size for me. I gave $3.
Beautiful.
For it. It's beautiful. I just love the wood.
How much?
$3.
Okay, you're lying to me.
$3.
You go, girl. Isn't it amazing?
$3.
I mean,
it's just perfect to put my sound equipment and I wanted something I could fold up like this because I don't always need it here. Sometimes, you know, I need more room if guests come in and what have you, you know, with the studio. But this is just perfect to put everything down, and it's right by my side. And I could put my little Stream Deck. A lot of you know that I use Stream Deck, and this is how I can go from one scene to another, you know, like that. And so it's at my fingertips, and it's just right here on this little table that I paid $3 for.
That is amazing. Well, congratulations on the great find.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you, I get all kinds of great finds. I get so tickled every time I mention this story. And it's where because Loretta and I shop for each other. If we say something we think the other one's gonna like, we're going ahead and
we
get it.
do.
And so this is so funny. I saw
it gets us in trouble too, but there's that.
It does. But I've learned to ask though, because here's what happened. I saw this paper. It was just like tons of craft paper. And so I told Phil, said, you better see she doesn't have something like that. You know, if she has enough. And I said, this is so exciting. I can't wait. So anyway, I sent you a picture. I did a video or something. I was doing a video. That's what it was. And so on the video, I said, Loretta's going to be so excited because I found this paper and I'm going to get it for her. And then she's going to have this. And then comes, you're the one who brought it. And what happened, you can see me on the video looking at it. Wait a minute.
You recovered so well though. I was like, oh, and let's look at this over here.
Yay.
I'm the one that had, you know, through the last 4.5 years, of course, when I buy supplies, mistakes are made. That paper was actually a mistake. It didn't cost me anything because they sent me the wrong paper. So I was completely done with it. I had seen it too much. So it was time to let it go and go on to a new home. I couldn't think of a better place to donate it than to the thrift store.
Absolutely. You know, something else I do is, you guys don't want to see me in the same outfit every single day on a show. You know, you want to see me in different stuff, you know. Well, I could choose like a lot of folks in television do. I could go ahead and go and pay a bunch of money for clothes. I just can't do it. So I go to Shepherd's Cove, and I am a recycler from way back. So what I do is I'll wear something for a while, then I take it to Shepherd's Cove, and then I'll just buy something else. And I don't have money tied up in a lot of clothes. A lot of guys at church have ribbed Phil. They'll say, well, I bet she spends all your money on clothes and all that. And it goes, actually, no, she won't do it. And so that's what I do.
I will tell you that their prices have gone up a little bit. I bought 3 blouses and a few other things. When I went earlier, what was it, Thursday or Friday of last week? Not a whole lot, but you know, unfortunately, our prices and just keeping the lights on have gone up. So, right. But I do encourage folks. There are clothes there. I bought a pair of jeans probably 6 months ago or so for like $5 that still had the tags on them. So it is so worth it. And then they have dishes, they have a few craft supplies, they have, you name it, you can find it there at the thrift store. They have a lot of jewelry. So if you need jewelry or you just want to buy some jewelry to use as findings or just junk journals or whatever it is you want to do, then you got it right there at the thrift store.
Yeah, I mean, really, that jewelry, you taught me a lot. You can use the jewelry in just making craft objects like books. And I mean, that's what you did here. The Tree of Life.
I did.
Right there. Oh, and this is another thing I found too, because I'm huge into jewelry making, but I do it on a budget, because a lot of folks get into jewelry making or crafts, whatever it is, and not paying attention to the price. It can be an expensive project to do. And then, you know, you have to really go higher on the whatever you charge if you're doing it for a living. So you want to keep those expenses down as much as you can. So I found a whole bunch of jewelry, junk rings, and so at the Shepherd's Cove Friday when we were there. And they're really, really nice ones. They're not the cheap ones that you would find at Walmart or something. These are like really, really nice jewelry findings. A whole bunch of junk rings. And they came from Fire Mountain Gems, by the way. You know how expensive they are. Brand new, still in the packaging, $1 a piece. $1. I mean, it was just, I was getting them. I mean, I was getting them. And I found all kinds of good deals too. You know, you can also, you know, if you're on a budget right now, maybe COVID hit you the wrong way and maybe you've lost your job or you're getting short time or something like that. I've seen lots of new things at the thrift store. Like new things.
Yeah, brand new things. When was it? I've bought, like, because we have animals and I do crafts and that kind of thing. I like those small little bowls, like the Corningware bowls, because they're kind of hard to destroy. You can. I broke one 2 weeks ago, but I love them for, you know, mixing lotions and potions and, you know, glue or whatever it is I need. And they're, you know, 25 cents. I can buy 4 of them. You know, it's like, okay. And I still get my discount. So that's like buying 3, get 1 free.
That's true.
So, but it's like you don't really have to dig either, because Shepherd's Cove's thrift shop is so well run, so well maintained. You're going to think you're in a high-end retail store. You're not going to really say, "Ooh, that's dirty. It smells in here." Not going to
No,
happen.
it smells good. And I have
It's
been in thrift stores where I would
beautiful.
just leave because I couldn't stand the smell of it. But
Me too.
these are really nice and high-end furniture too. I've seen a lot of Ashley furniture there.
Yes, and they have bedroom suits. They have couches. Um, you name it. I mean, if you've got a little one, a grown-up that's getting ready to fly out of your nest, and you can help them pad theirs for little money to buy what is virtually brand new sofa set, sofa chair, and you're going to pay less than $300 for it probably. It
Mhm.
is phenomenal. But let's just say grandmother has passed away, and or unfortunately your spouse or someone, and you just need to get it out. You want to sell your house or whatever it is, call Shepherd's Cove Hospice and talk to Loretta there, and she will help get you set up. And they have a box truck. They come to your house and pick it up.
Mhm. They'll do it for you. You don't have to lift a finger. You just point and
Don't
say
have to
there.
do anything. You just have to arrange for them, make sure that there's a way in and out of your home so that they can get whatever it is you're donating. You
Mhm.
get a donation receipt if you'd like to have one.
Mhm.
And of course, the foundation and the patients absolutely are going to get that benefit, because that helps take care of them.
Mhm.
It's a
Absolutely.
huge ministry.
And this is what I don't like having yard sales. You'd think I'd love it, but I don't. I get bored with it, and I just, and after 30 minutes, I'm out of there. I'm done. So instead of having yard sales, that's what I do. And so again, if it's, you just don't want to mess with it, and you don't want to put it back in your house again, because the whole idea of having a yard sale is to get rid of the stuff. So you can, because one man's trash is another man's treasure. And a lot of folks are downsizing. That's what we did. We moved back from Charlotte and we moved into a smaller house. And if you just want to downsize, you just want to get rid of things. And again, write it off on your taxes.
Yep. And it's gonna bless somebody else, whether it's financially, whether or not it's just having the ability to get a set of furniture or whatever it is you need at a really
Mhm.
discount. And like I said before, we're talking stuff that looks brand new. I am not lying to you. It is I love going there. I
Oh,
really
those,
do.
those Lucky Jeans. Lucky Jeans are really expensive. I've seen a lot of Lucky Jeans there. You know what? We got just about a minute left in the segment. It always flies when I'm talking to you, Loretta. So let's talk again about the class, Cove Crafters.
Cove Crafters is this Thursday, November the 10th. We meet at 5:30 in the community room of Shepherd's Cove Hospice, which is on Mortland Road in Albertville.
Mhm.
We eat at 5:30 and we're fed by Santa Fe Cattle Company. The event is free. We're going to be making ornaments
Mhm.
from birdhouses.
Mhm. Got
Yep.
that birdhouse up there.
Uh,
Mhm.
its little wreath fell off, but that's okay.
Mhm.
And so this is what we're going to be making, and we hope that you'll join us. If you plan to come, please contact me by November 8th, which is tomorrow, at
Got to
about
have a head
5
count.
o'clock. So I have a head count, so I have enough food.
Absolutely. Loretta, thank you for being on the show, girlfriend.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. And you
I'll see
come
you
back.
Thursday.
I will see you Thursday. You come back for another awesome guest coming up in just a few minutes. You hang in there. Bye, Loretta.